this is, again, kind of a continuation on the discussions we've been having about soloing, playing cool melody, and not necessarily being imprisoned by the tyranny of scales. So I just played a little improvisation part in the beginning, trying to use those ideas that I've been talking about. I was playing blues in the key of F, and you know, we have F, B flat, and back to F, and then of course the turnaround is C, B flat, F. In most cases, I would use a triad, right? Also include the sixth scale degree. In this case, F triad is F, A, C. The sixth scale degree is E. And I also used a G, which is B, right? But I was trying to really think about Charlie Christian, and I had a discussion with a friend last week about this very subject, and I was explaining to him that when I transcribed the Charlie Christian solo for Grand Slam was when this stuff really came together in my mind. And I would encourage you to go check that out. There is a video on my page of me playing it along with the record. So if you want to like hear the actual recording, but then kind of see the fingering that goes along with it, you can do that. Just search back in my older videos. But anyway, so I was trying to think about that solo and some of the key devices in that solo that really excited me. And a lot of those were phrases like this, where we had F on the F chord, and I was playing a half step approach into the third of F, which is A, right? A half step approach from below and above, right? We talked about this earlier, as those are notes that kind of come from the minor pentatonic, which are cool over F. But what's even cooler is to actually use the natural rub of those two notes in a way that our line collapses from those notes into a chord tone, right? Right? I also like doing this, and again, I got that from Charlie, where I play. So I'm playing the third of F here on the top string, but I approach it from, you know, what would be the minor third in the minor pentatonic scale, right? So I played this kind of like almost like happy blues lick. It could be from the major pentatonic. Again, I hate to use all these terms, but right, that's a great line. Right. When we go to 4, we can apply the same idea. Typically, this note is super sour in a blues. We didn't really play the minor third of the 4 chord, but in this particular case, we're hearing that note not as the minor third of the 4 chord, but we're hearing it as a half step lead into the third of the 4 chord, right? Which is that D note, right? Our 4 chord, B flat, has the notes B flat, D, and F, right? So if we step into D from a half step below, right? It sounds great. Now let me kick on the accompaniment here, so you can kind of hear. So you don't have to just take my word for it, but you can kind of hear how cool that sounds and how it doesn't sound like I'm actually playing B flat minor pentatonic while we're playing blues in the key of F, right? So here's the top. Here's the 4 chord. Right? So, I mean, it really sounds great. Right? You can do the same idea on the 5 chord, right? When we get to 5 in the chord progression, and then I kind of do this fun line where I play on 5, then I play down the minor pentatonic on 4, right? And again, taking that minor pentatonic and resolving it in a way that I land on a chord tone. Okay, let me see if I can put that in time. That was kind of nice right there. Kind of stuck the landing. Anyway, these are great ideas. Okay, so it's important, of course, when you're practicing that you take it slow, for one. I think it's a good idea to spend time in one particular position. Here we're in the key of F. I'm just playing, you know, I haven't really gone any further than this B flat right here on the 6th fret on the top string, right? Right? I kind of look at that as being all kind of in one area. My 1 chord, 4, 5, right? So maybe you do that a couple of times during the week and you just stick in this one position, okay? Then the next week, maybe you play with the same accompaniment, same key, but now move yourself to a different part of the neck where you have, say you have F7 here, right? You have B flat here and C here, right? And see if you can locate those same areas where you have the triad and how the notes of the triad can be surrounded by notes of the minor pentatonic. Or, right, or. All right. Of course, after that position, on to the next and on to the next and on to the next. Okay, anyway, just as a recap, and then we're going to probably go on to something else here. This has been kind of a nice, you know, few weeks of focusing on this idea of we have chord tones. Then, in many cases, not just on blues or dominant chords, but we have these situations on minor chords or some of those pretty major 7 chords, right? We still have a situation where we have, there are the notes of the chord, there are some diatonic notes that are very common, that are very consonant, and then there are notes that are sort of outside the key or chromatic neighbor passing tones that want to resolve into a chord tone, or they want to resolve into one of those diatonic approach notes into a chord tone, okay? Be aware of it. Again, go slowly. Really try to focus on playing melody and not licks. Okay, happy practicing. We'll see you soon.